The following program was produced by an independent community producer. The opinions expressed do not necessarily reflect those of the ECAT staff or board of directors.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Topic Time with Harrison Young. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Topic Time with Harrison Young. In June in Easton, this is my second show with June already. Did my first one last night at Area 58 in Carver, Mass, and that was to we had an outstanding show there too. We had another musician somewhere. I can't even think right now about who I had last night. We got to concentrate on tonight. So tonight I have an awesome musical guest out in Washington State. Her name is Tammy Finley-Day, and we're going to hear one of her songs about halfway through the show. But before we get to her, I got to read these incredible underwriters, and then we will commence per usual. So we have Personal Best Karate in Southeastern. We have Diesel Plus Unlimited in Whitman. We have One Good Credit in Brockton. We have Boombox in Middleborough. We have Countertops Express in North Attleboro, experts in the installation and removal of quartz and granite. We have Lynch's Towing, Auto, Cycle, and Truck Center in Brockton, one number for towing, one number for projects. My pal Lynchy there in Brockton's always looking for new transportation, scrap metal, wheels, anything to do with that. He handles it all. We have Herbalife Uplifted Nutrition in Taunton. We have a new one, OTMC Auto, Foreign and Domestic Auto Repair in Middleborough. We have the Gunrunner LLC in Middleborough, the Second Amendment Freedom Store specializing in customer service, pricing, and selection. We have RW Carpet and Flooring in Norton, covering floors for 50 years. We have Cycle Pros in Bridgewater. We have Johnny Macaroni's Restaurants, two in East Bridgewater, one in Halifax. We have Tom Auto in Middleborough. We have Grant's Rental in Bridgewater. We have Doggy Boutique, all-breed professional grooming for dogs and cats, run by my great next-door neighbor, Debbie Siddell in Brockton. We have Kingston Auto Body in Kingston. We have Joe's Diner in Taunton. And we have Haven Psychiatric Services right here in the building at 50 Oliver Street in room 211 in Northeastern. I want to thank you guys very much. And now I'll officially introduce this young, lovely lady in the black hat and black blouse. It's Tammy Finley-Day. Is that it? And
That's correct.
You're a musician.
Yeah.
And you're a lovely person. You have an awesome backdrop you have there behind you. And I think you found me through somebody, and it's always great when you get people, through word of mouth. As I haven't gotten a lot of guests like that. So what I do with every guest is I just try to find out what they were like as kids. How they got into music. Tell me about that. Are you indigenous to that part of the country? Have you lived there your whole life?
Yes, I'm absolutely indigenous to this part of the country. I was born and raised on the Colville Indian Reservation.
Oh, yeah?
My
mom. Are you a Native American?
I am.
Wow.
I'm over half. Yeah, I'm just a little bit over half.
Okay.
My mom was a full-blood Air Lake Sinaiks, originally from Canada.
Okay.
But the military moved our people down from there to the Colville Indian Reservation, and here we've been ever since.
How many? That's an interesting history lesson. How long ago did that happen?
Oh goodness,
probably 1700s.
1800s.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Okay. Well, you know what? You're in a better country now than you were where your ancestors were. I mean, let's face it. This is a better country.
Absolutely.
I always try to think. Look at the glass as half full, not half empty, and that everything is a blessing in disguise. All right. So and when did you start? How did you start in the music? How old were you? What were you doing?
Oh my goodness, from birth. I mean, my mom was one of those people who she never turned on the television in the morning. It was a radio.
Oh, okay.
So, I got to hear Hank Williams Jr., Patsy Cline, all those amazing artists. And she was a singer too. She loved to sing. And so she would sing to us in the car while we're driving all the time. And it was just amazing. Like, I woke up and I would, stand there and watch her, cleaning in the kitchen or whatever. And we'd sing together. And then I was also a commercial kid.
Okay.
Stand in front of the TV,
you like
dance around.
You like jingles, right?
You bet.
I got it. Well, aside from what kind of music did you listen to on the radio that you like to sing along to?
Oh, I'm absolutely eclectic. I like almost everything.
Okay.
Except for super hardcore rock and roll and super hardcore rap.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but everything else under the sun. I mean, I love everything.
And maybe at some point you'll acquire a taste for those other things as well. Well, time will tell. Sometimes you'll hear a song, from a type of music you never liked before, and you think to yourself, wow, this is pretty darn good. Maybe I like this more than I thought I did. And then next thing you know, you do. Okay.
Well, see, I never thought I would like any kind of I actually like the Who. They're I don't know if you've ever heard of the Who,
The Who,
but
everybody's heard of The Who.
oh yeah, they're amazing. So
Yeah. The ones that are,
yeah,
yeah, the ones that are, I mean, I remember when Keith Moon passed in 1978 was Thursday, September 7th. You were probably
right.
a little baby then, right?
Well, I was talking about the Who that's from different country.
A different band, not the Who from England. You're talking about a
Not the
different.
Who from England, but I love the Who from England. I
Oh,
mean,
well, who are you talking about? No pun intended. Then.
let's see. I can't think of it. My husband knows. Goodness sake. Now I'm gonna have to think about it. But anyway, I think they're goodness sake.
Okay. All right. Well, that's fine. That's all right. It's a good band. You like them, and that's all that matters. Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
they're Mongolian.
Mongolian?
Mongolian.
Oh, no way. Are they from Mongolia?
They are. And they're a
Wow.
Mongolian band and they're just absolutely incredible. I mean,
Yeah, that's amazing.
I move every time I listen to them. So
Okay, I've never heard them. I'll have to look them up and listen because the idea of having a band from a country where you don't usually hear musicians come out of like much, and that's one of those countries. You don't really hear many. Haven't really heard many. I've never heard of any Mongolian musicians before. So this
yeah,
should
it's
be
spelled
interesting. The last Mongolian I heard of was Genghis Khan, and that was like 1,200 years ago. I was like 800. I don't know, whatever 1,200 AD was. I guess that was
right.
about 800 years ago. Okay, amazing. All
And
right.
it's spelled HU. Yes.
Okay, I'm trying to figure out how. Oh, I see. There's no W.
No.
Oh,
Yeah, just
wow. Okay, so
HU.
it's got an Asian spelling. If you take the W away, it turns it Asian. I get it. Okay, amazing. All right. All right. Well, so when you were a child, did you participate in any concerts, talent shows, and things of that nature?
Oh, not really. I did a lot of plays and stuff where I had to sing and things like that, school plays and stuff like that. But
Okay. Well,
nothing really huge.
well, wait. All right. So you did acting too then?
Yeah,
Okay, and your acting included singing.
it did.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
amazing. All right. And this was when you were how old?
Oh goodness. Through my middle school years.
Okay, so
Pretty much.
like a young teenager.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, and I think my hunch is you got a lot of it got a lot of people's positive attention in the area for doing this, right?
I mean, for the acting, yes, because they said I had a lot of charisma and stuff, but the singing kind of came later. I sang in choir and stuff, but I didn't think I had anything special going on.
Okay.
People said I had a pretty voice, but I never really thought about it, I was
Well,
just having fun.
so all right, so I assume there was an event in your life which changed that. What was it?
Well, Bo Haas and Cindy Lou changed that.
Oh, okay,
They
right. They
are
were guests on my show from my other location. All right, wow.
they found me at a karaoke bar.
Okay.
I was singing karaoke one night and I was hanging out with my friends and this big, tall, handsome cowboy and his beautiful wife walked up to me and Bo said, "You have an amazing voice. You remind me of Mahalia Jackson." He said, "Have you ever been recorded before?" And of course, I kind of was, a few drinks in
Yeah, of
I,
course. You
yeah,
have to
and
be
I
to sing
sat there and
karaoke, I think. I would be. Had a few drinks. Okay.
yeah, I looked at him and I said, before you start blowing smoke up my wazoo about being some kind of producer or something, and I kind of gave him a little spiel about,
Well, I guess you didn't know him yet, right?
exactly.
Okay.
And so I was a little, and me and my friends were sitting there and I just kept on saying, don't sell me no BS, basically. So
Well, you were a little tipsy anyway, so obviously.
right. And he
Yeah.
looked down at me and he says, "Are you done, little girl?" And I said, "I am." And he says, "Okay, I'm the real deal. Look me up, Google me. I've been in the business for years. I know what I'm talking about." And so it took a couple weeks and I had kind of vetted them through my friend Denny because, we shared a friendship with them,
Okay.
but I didn't know them through him until later on.
Yep. Okay.
And so he said, they're amazing people, salt of the earth. And I said, okay. And then I talked to my husband. And the funny thing was, when I went up to do my first raw recording with them, I was a little skeptical and a little scared because I didn't know these people from Adam,
Of course.
So
And plus, they're right out in the woods too. I mean, you're really in the sticks.
they're way up on the mountain.
I know.
And I mean, yeah. And I drive up there. So
I get dizzy up there.
yeah, my husband was worried about leaving me with them because it was winter time and I had to ride with Bo in his truck because all we had was our, car and we couldn't bring that up the mountain.
Okay.
So I had to jump in the truck with this big, tall cowboy, and I'm thinking, okay. And then it just happened to be Murdered and Missing Indigenous Women's Day.
Okay. I don't know what that is, but.
Well, if you look up MMIW, Murdered Missing Indigenous Peoples Day, Women's Day.
Oh, is that like? I mean, I noticed they wanted to change Columbus Day to something like that. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, I think so. Yes.
Oh, okay, got it. All right.
Because the murdered and missing Indigenous people, they weren't counted for a long time.
Okay.
They were never put in the news, or nobody looked for them. They were being murdered left and right, and nobody said a word. So that's where that went.
Oh,
but anyway, I went up the mountain with Bo, and I sat next to him, and I go, it's Murdered and Missing Indigenous Women's Day, Bo. I'm a little scared. You're an awfully big guy.
Okay.
And I said, please don't kill me. And he started giggling, and he said, little girl, all we're going to do is make you sing a little bit. And I said, okay. So we got to the house, and Cindy was there to greet me, and I felt a heck of a lot better. So.
Okay. And you sang, and your confidence just welled right up, right?
Yeah, they really, and they've taught me so much too, because Cindy used to laugh and tease me because she, I have a big voice. So she said, I don't want to have to record you from the living room. You need to slow your roll and not wail so much. So
okay. And how long ago did this happen?
They taught me to tone it down and make it pretty. So
how long ago did this happen? How was that within the last 5 years?
Almost 3 years ago. Yeah.
Okay.
Now.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? We're about halfway through the show now. We're going to hear a little song. Tammy Finley-Day. Repertoire, and is it one you wrote yourself?
No, actually, it was written by a man from the UK.
Okay. Well, but you sang it.
Yes.
Okay. All right. We're going to listen to the song. We're going to come right back and talk about it. And we'll be right back. So keep listening, and we're going to we're going to resume the conversation after we're done listening to the song.
It seems obvious to me, but I'm the only one to see the dream we had between us could take us to the limit. Skies alone in touch. You can only have too little love. You can never have too much. You can only have too little love. You can never have too much. If you could just believe me and let yourself free fall, you find me there beside you anytime you call. If I could just convince you to let yourself free fall, we could have it all. A case of indecision, a case of bound before. We see the fear behind us and never lose our way. Who am I to tell you? You're the one who must believe in what your heart decides to say. You're the one who must believe in what your heart decides to say. And if you could just believe me and let yourself free fall, you find me there beside you anytime you call. let yourself free fall. We could have it all. If you could just believe me and let yourself free fall, you'll find me there beside you anytime you call. If I could just convince you to let yourself free fall, we could have it all. Catching dreams in a midnight sky. Take my hand and we could fly. Catching dreams in a midnight sky. Take my hand and we could fly. And free fall. Take my hand and free fall.
Oh, Tammy, that was great. Tell me what we just heard.
Well, this song was written by a man from the UK. He's an excellent songwriter.
Okay.
Cindy Lou actually found the song for me and told me that she would really like me to sing it. And so I did. And it's about, basically asking the person that you love to free fall with you.
Okay.
When you love someone so much, you're asking them to fall with you, so.
Well, wait. All right. Hang up a second. I mean, when you say free fall, there's something called the trust fall where you tell someone, if you trust me, fall back and I'll catch you. But that's not the
Yes.
same thing, right? Or is it?
Well, I would say yes, it would be, quite a bit the same thing,
Oh, okay.
You're falling with somebody,
Well, I
you're
know, but
being
in this case, you and someone else are falling at the same time. So who do you? Is this like is this got to do with skydiving? I have to, inquiring minds want to know.
Well, I don't know that it has anything to do with skydiving, although the cover of the album does show me skydiving.
Oh, good. There you go. See, I nailed that one. All right. Okay, interesting.
You
Well,
nailed it.
yeah.
Good
Okay.
job.
Well, and music metaphors rule. Let's face it. That's the way it is.
Amen.
Amen. Okay. Well, that's great.
Absolutely.
Well, you're very talented. You have a lovely voice. Now, do you have
Thank
a
you.
big family? I know you have a husband. Do you have children, grandchildren, anything like?
Oh, I have a little boy. I technically can't have biological children, so
Oh, okay.
along with the husband came the son.
Oh, okay. Well, now
I'm very, very blessed. He's a doll.
I'm sure he is. Any of your people in your family into music as well? Do they perform as well? I know they support you.
Oh yes, I have lots of musical people in my family. My cousin James, who passed away, I think about 12 years or more now. He was he could play an electric guitar. He could play any guitar. He was
Wow.
absolutely, and he could sing, and he was just absolutely wonderful. And he played in a band, and actually a couple bands, and yeah, he was incredible. He was one of my mentors. He kind of figured I had a voice before I knew I had one too.
Okay. All right. Well, how about like your husband? Is he a musician too? I saw him when you were setting up the order.
Oh no, he's not. He's just a quiet, easygoing guy. I'm the extrovert. He's the introvert.
Okay. Now the little boy, is he? I know he's small, but I started taking piano lessons when I was 6. I'm wondering if he's into music at all, like performing it.
Oh, Matthew loves to sing. He's not really into instruments or anything. He's more into the using the computer
Vocals.
and the AI stuff and that kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So as far as where do you take your music? Now that you've been incorporated into the Bo Cindy Lou Corporation, do you go all over the state? Do you travel around the country? Where do you perform?
No, most of the time, we just record our music and just put it out on the radio, on YouTube, and you go through Native Family Radio, Paul Mash, that kind of thing. And trying to get on the Rick Spins and Phil Krantz with Black Dog Radio, things like that.
Okay.
So basically, it's just mostly recording and then, putting the music out there.
Do you
We
have
don't
a,
really do traveling or performing.
do you have a recording studio in your home?
I do.
Okay, so that makes it easy. You don't have to, and that's where are you in it now, or is it's a different room, right?
Oh, it's a totally different room. Yeah, it's down in my basement.
Okay.
And we have all the sound stuff on the walls and things like that. And during the winter time when I can't go up to Bo and Cindy's, I record from home here and then send it to them, and then they mix and master
Or you just,
and do all.
yeah, you send it to them by, by Zoom, right? Like we're doing now.
Actually, I send it to them through Google Drive.
Oh, okay. Well, similar. All right.
Yeah.
All right. But excuse me. Now you say you've done stuff on the radio, like on regular. I mean, what about like do you perform in venues too? I mean, when you go out, are there any like, like clubs? Do you perform? For at different venues, like for dinner, eating eateries and like that, or bars.
It's a really, really small town here, so there's
Okay.
not a whole lot of that. We did go to an elderly center and perform before, for the elders and
Oh,
stuff, and
okay.
we sang some old-timey good stuff for them, and they really enjoyed it. But for the most part, no, we don't do any real, going to venues and singing. I mean, I've sang at one of the local bars around here, but it's not like a big production or something like that,
I understand. And now, have you ever been in a band?
No,
Okay.
no, I
So
haven't.
you've always been solo, except for with the help of. So basically, Bo and Cindy Lou are kind of like your reps.
They are. They're
Oh,
my producers. They are my family. They're amazing people.
oh, I
Absolutely
know.
incredible.
Okay. So what's in store in the future? Do you have any? Are you gonna do? Well, I mean, where have you traveled before? I'm just curious. Have you ever been outside of the town besides to their house for anything?
Oh yeah, I've traveled definitely. I've been to Canada. I've been to, Vegas, and I've been to, I've been kind of like everywhere around the country, Utah, Nevada, I've even gone to Mexico, to
Okay.
Nogales.
But
Yeah, so.
you never performed in any of those states, though, or have you? And if you're not, are
Oh
you
no,
planning to? If you haven't,
I don't know. I have no idea what's in store. I usually just kind of, look to Bo and Cindy to kind of lead me on this journey because I am still unsure about how it's done. I'm not well versed, so I kind of lean on them for that information.
but it's obvious you like traveling. So I'm thinking, ultimately you might incorporate your music into your traveling. You've traveled to more states than I have. Have you been in New England before?
Oh no, but I've always wanted to go, especially during the fall. It looks like it's absolutely stunning there.
Well, it absolutely is, because I understand they're having a festival in the town of Winchendon, Mass, which is probably about 70 miles from here. That's where Caden Gordon lives. He's one of the country.
Oh, I love Katie Gordon. He's amazing.
Right, and he's going to be there. I mean, it's probably the closest thing to. Have you been to Nashville at all?
I did last year when we went over to Atlanta, we drove into Nashville. We didn't get a walk down Music Row or anything like that, but our plan this year when we go to the International Singer-Songwriters Awards,
Okay.
Which we've all got nominations and stuff for, and we're all finalists.
Okay, great.
We're gonna go and fly right into Nashville, and they're gonna take me down Music Row because I've never been, and we're going to hang out with somebody that's related to Charlie Pride for the
Wow.
day.
I remember
We're going to
that.
go to the Grand Ole Opry and see. I get to see all of that, and I'm just so excited and so blessed. Bo and Cindy have, just created this amazing trip and journey for me, and I'm just stoked.
So psyched. I understand. You're stoked and you're psyched. And this is kind of a turning point in your career then.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
So a year from now, you're probably going to have a lot, you're going to have done some things that you didn't even realize, up until like 3 or 4 years ago that you never would have done.
Right. I feel like, there's a lot of people who say, oh, Tammy, there's a whole lot more talented people than you out there.
Well, you can't,
And
don't tell them to go, where. Don't listen to that. That's ridiculous. Why would anyone
tell them,
say that? That's silly.
I don't know. I just think that, I don't know if it's a jealousy thing or what. I don't know. I just kind of look at them and say, well, you only live once and I'm going to follow my dream. I just feel sad for you that you
You have to
put
demean
me down.
someone else to make yourself better. No, I agree. That's incredible. That's terrible. That's a terrible thing to say. I'm glad your heart's in the right place and you're going to stay at it with it. As far as like, have you done any more acting in any plays lately, like you did in school?
Oh no, I kind of I'm a little shy about that now. I should do it, to be
Yeah, you
honest.
should. That's what I'm getting
I
at.
think
At
it'd
some
be
point, you
fun.
should think about doing that because you might be good if you have a good singing voice. Have you ever done any films at all?
Oh no films.
And what about music videos for your songs?
Cindy recently recorded me, and we used green screen and stuff like that, and actually did a video for Free Fall.
Okay.
Um,
Oh, you
but
did.
I don't think she's finished it yet.
Yeah. So you got someone else doing the editing for that.
That's right. Yeah, Cindy's doing the editing.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. That's awesome. All right. Well, guess what? We're now within the final 5 minutes of completion. I hope you had fun talking to me.
Oh, I did. You're absolutely wonderful. I had a blast.
Thank you. Yeah, you too. I try to dig up information about my guests. I try to profile them and figure out what they're about, and I'm pretty good at it. So now that you go, what do you have? Like, I mean, you're going to Nashville. When are you going? Is that next month, July?
At the end of August.
At the end of
Yeah.
August. Okay. And how long are you going to be there for?
Oh, probably about. Well, we fly into Nashville and we're gonna stay there for I think 2 or 3 days, and then we're gonna drive into Atlanta and go to the International Singer Songwriters Awards. So we'll probably be there about 5 or 6 days, I would say.
Okay. Well, if you had a good time with me, what I'd like you to do is you have my number now. Give my digits to anybody that you think might be a good guest on my show, and then we'll
Absolutely.
get them on as guests.
Fantastic. I'd do that. Sure.
Okay. So aside from the fact that what I want you to do now is give shouts out to some people that are going to see the show because a lot of people are going to see it, and then we'll wrap it up with my snap and the way we began it. So go ahead.
Okay.
Let's
I
get
would
some.
love to give props to Bo and Cindy, of course. Wolf Milestone, he's incredible. I love him. He's a brother of mine. I call him brother now.
Okay.
He's an outstanding artist and in his own right. And Caden Gordon, Marsha from Native Family Radio, Paul Mash, all of those amazing people. Yes.
Okay. That's great. Okay.
And my husband, because he's awesome. He supports me in everything that I do. So
Of course. All right. So just curious, how many hours a week do you write any of your own original songs, or have you? And if not, are you going to at some point?
yeah, I'm just learning to right now, and I'm actually writing a funny one right now.
Okay.
And I'm thinking about adding a lyric in there that I'm going to jump on my menstrual cycle and run you over.
Oh, wow. Okay. That sort of brings back memories in my life, which you don't need to elaborate on too much because that's a show for another day. Maybe not one week, and maybe want to show on the local network here. But that is funny. You obviously don't. You obviously have your scruples are less than I thought. That's good. After hearing this stuff. All right.
Well, I'm a jokester. I love to joke and play. So yeah.
Well, you should definitely write humorous songs and maybe even think about creating maybe musical stand-up. You'd be the first person in the country to do that.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah,
that's a good idea. I never considered it.
It would be awesome. And I just want to say, I remember the people I had. I felt silly not remembering. I had a nice musical couple on last night too. Andrew Dean on the Farm Machine from rural Ohio, and they were.
Oh yeah, Andrew Dean is awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, they were on my show yesterday, so you're in good company. All right.
Oh, you bet.
Yeah. Okay. All right, so I guess now we're just going to wrap the show up. Like I said, you've already given shouts out, and you can snap away with me. I have one last favor to ask. Once we wrap the show up, will you stick around, and my tech guy will take pics for Facebook, and I'll tag you in them.
Perfect.
Okay. All right, folks, we're going to wrap up another great Topic Time episode. See you next time. Rolling out and snapping off on whatever. Here we go. I know, it does it every time. Here we go.